Hello and welcome everyone back to some 70 Star League Division 1 action here at GSA. For this matchup, we've got Droz versus Protoman. Nice little matchup for you. I am Scotch and Tie Guy. You can call me Scotch. In the booth with me is Electric. Tell me, what is the expectation for this match?
You know, I'll be honest. I mean, we're looking at these standings here, and we've got Droz unfortunately sitting towards the bottom with 33 points. Protoman holding his own, even though got 2 losses, still holding with 120 points. I really feel like this might be Protoman's race. I mean, Droz has the raw speed for sure. As I've said in basically any other race I've calmed of his, he really kind of just has an issue going too fast. He doesn't have super consistent strats like other players do, and it seems every run of his runs into some major pitfall with him going for something ridiculous to save a little time, and it just doesn't quite work out. I feel like Protoman might have an edge just because of his lean towards consistency, but if Droz does have an on day, he could easily pull out a 48 and just completely destroy. It's really going to be up to how Droz is going to play today, but I think Protoman is going to pull out a very solid showing, and if Droz isn't on his A game, he could see a loss here too.
Well, as we get going here, this is a live one for you, so not only is this being shown to us for the first time, but these guys are playing this match for the first time as well. And as we saw there on the leaderboard, D Whatever in first place. Pretty big deal there. You know, it really goes to show that the beginning of this season, you had kind of some expectations for who was going to be up top, but D Whatever taking that top spot, pretty nice. And we've got the start. Droz and Proto both on English versions. Lack to skip to start.
How is he top even though he lost a match in someone else's 4-0? That makes no sense. The way that the points work out, if you're far enough ahead of other players, you could feasibly get effectively 1 win's worth of points across 2 matches. But anytime you have a scorekeeping thing like this, it's always rough early on in the season, but as things progress and every player has faced every other player, you eventually get to a point where the statistics will work out. They may look weird right now, but I mean, ultimately we've only played 4 matches and we have like 16 people in the roster or something. Like we haven't progressed far enough in the season for the standings to really accurately reflect. And I mean, at the end of every season, we will of course reevaluate the point system and make sure that it is still relevant and is still accomplishing the things we want it to. Because ultimately, like, what else would we implement? A straight win-loss system would end up meaning that players wouldn't get credit for still having a really great time in a race, but just not coming ahead of their opponent for whatever reason. There's certainly a difference between someone losing to a 47 with a 48 and someone losing to a 47 with a 50, and that's what the point system should show. It just has the unfortunate side effect of right now, things like what you're seeing on the leaderboard can happen.
Well, right off the bat, 12-7 there from Droz. Proto missing that cannonless. A little bit of a route differentiation. Protoman, he goes for these 2 Peaches slides after Womps. Not particularly sure what the reasoning is for that, but Droz just now entering Womps as Proto is heading in for the 2nd time.
Yeah, I feel like Proto might just have some muscle memory from PB attempts that he doesn't want to mess with, because, I mean, there really is no reason to go for Womps first in a race. But the cannonless is good as Droz moves on in for Pro Cycle. Let's see how this goes. Beautiful movement so far, though. Just picture perfect. Oh man, very narrowly getting that double jump. Looked like he was in the pillar, basically. That was wild.
Well, we were talking about this. You were saying this before, you know, Droz He's big in the 16, 0, and 1 star, obviously, and migrating over to the 70 star area. Showing off these techniques and a little bit of a flub, but able to recover it just narrowly.
I don't even know how much of that was due to his input and how much was just the way he landed on the stone and just pure luck, honestly. I mean, that was... He lost 3 seconds where he could have easily lost 10. I would take that mistake for sure.
Well, he's going for that hard, again, that pro strat. You know, going for broke in this league. Able to get that 100 coins. Pro setup. Protoman finishing up his 100. Again, Proto, we said this earlier in the season. Proto keeps it comfy. Draws! Missing fence clip. Needs to recover. And his Owlus is fine, but losing a bit of time just because of that movement. Oh no, Proto. Getting squished there by the Thwomp. Excuse me, Womp. Draw setting up for that texture setup now.
Beautiful stuff there as Protoman grabs his quick Womp King Star.
Now you might be asking yourself, Protoman hasn't done Owlus yet. He doesn't do Owlus. He actually keeps it extra comfy and takes the owl up there. So we will be seeing that from him as he finishes up top of the fortress.
Yeah, the owl strat, very consistent, only loses like 4 seconds or so. If you're not good at Owlus, it's certainly worth going for, I feel like. Protoman taking an interesting approach. So when you grab the owl, any momentum Mario has is reserved and reapplied after you let go of the owl. It looks like Protoman kind of trying to use that to his advantage a little bit. He's going to be making his way over to a slide as Droz makes his way over to the top of the fortress. I'm going to say 12-8 from Proto. I believe in the man.
Well, we're likely to see Droz take the lead as the two routes sync up. Nice bounce there off the wall from Proto, but a 12-9, so not too bad. Pretty respectable
really nice
time. As we see here, Droz taking care of his second slide as Protoman heads on over to do the same.
I'm going to go ahead and say a 12-6 for Droz and a 12-8 for Protoman again. The 12-8 dream is not dead. 12-6. And the 12-8. The dream is not dead. Draws in wing cap stage now. Misses his first red. That's probably about half of his lead or so.
Uh-oh. Droz missing that first coin. Pretty easy to pick back up, but kind of messes up this route. Protoman grabbing those first two.
Yeah, now Droz having to take kind of an awkward approach to the tech skip.
As long as Proto can get this button skip. Oh, no. Not a good setup. Able to get the tech
grab it
skip.
second and try at least.
And now we're into Dark World. Gotta maintain this cycle. Both of these guys probably going for a safe shig.
Oh, definitely committing to shig after that ground pound. Needs some pretty quick movement here to make sure he can keep that cycle. Taking things very close to the edges. The amp, though, preventing any hope of a shig, unfortunately. Gonna have to do some Shia cycle ending. A poverty Shia, of all things.
Oh, no.
Oh! That, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. I'm very glad he was able to recover.
That was a crazy save. Proto with the double long jump. And Droz is happy to get out of there alive. Easily could have taken a death.
Proto is in the fight. Droz just now getting the throw.
Pretty nice single throw from Droz. Proto going for the extra throw just in case. Not able to get as much momentum there. About 11 seconds worth of difference between these guys. As we head back into BOB. Do a quick sky hop. Droz with that quick start movement here.
Kind of interesting jumps there. I haven't seen the double jump like that being used here. You got Droz on the island. Protoman just behind. And Protoman getting a rollout to actually break the box instead of having to pound. Yes, this is the same Droz. I think someone else currently holds that record. I'm not entirely sure. But, this is the Droz of 0 single and 16 star fame. Got some wall kicks coming out, though. Oh! He gets that sickening camera clap. There's nothing worse, because with that star, you try to Mario cam as you triple jump, at least the traditional camera setup. Or sorry, not triple jump, as you wall kick. And when you miss the wall kick like that, the camera clicking noise is just so sickening. Getting a pretty bad corner bonk there. I don't understand why, but every single time I get that same corner bonk, I always fall off the stage. It always forces me back to fall off. Like, I can never get that bonk like these guys seem to somehow, where they're able to land well within the fence's boundaries and just continue with the backup. We got the wall kicks working for Protoman as well. Droz with some penguin sliding action. So now we're going to be seeing some 100 coins in just a sec here. Protoman going for slide skip. Let's see. I'm sure Droz is going to go for CCM 17. Yep. Droz, no safety red. I mean, why would you really grab the safety red in CCM 17? You got 2 coins that you can miss on the slide, so.
Droz able to get all those coins this time around. Past 2 weeks, he's been missing that arch.
And He unfortunately missed like 1 in that line. Couldn't exactly tell if it was 1 or 2 due to the bit rate, but I think just, yeah. Or no, it was 2 coins actually that he missed there, but it's totally fine. Closing on out with the 98 he needs for 100 coin. Meanwhile, Protoman about to go in on CCM 18 with his penguin race here. He's got a very, very nice coin count coming out of the line.
Yeah, it looks like should be fine. Heading out here and draws into BBH. Gonna be taking on Big Boo on the balcony. A couple of simple stars before draws is gonna need to do some double pluses.
I mean, it looked like Draws did that crouching optimization there. For some reason, when you're sliding forward and crouching, that counts as a damage source for the Big Boo. So the most optimal Boo strat is to do your first ground pound that sends him off to the right, and then line up for your long jump, and then crouch right before you hit Boo. That way, it counts as a hit, and you can just get your long jump out immediately. It doesn't save that much time over just punching Boo instead of using the crouch for damage, but it's always pretty neat to see. And so Draws is going to be headed down to the basement, as Protoman still has 1 more started grab up in BBH. And Scotch and Tie Guy getting 11 Onyx with this check-in. Beautiful stuff.
Dude, I'm on top of that Onyx, and you should be too. You get 500 points of that Onyx. Free subscription to anywhere you would like, but of course we would love it if you use it here at GSA. Help support everything that we do here, providing you a bunch of great content. SM64, Celeste, Super Mario Odyssey, Super Mario Maker 2.
Yeah, I mean, who else has 24/7 speedrun content? Oh boy, Draws dives into the bomb, does not like the prospect of trying to get pillarless with a already messed up first move. But he is able to get the Pyramid Talon backup, which is overall the best backup that you can get here. Let's see if he goes for some double plus action. I feel like he will, since he didn't fail the re-grab or anything else that's really difficult. He just messed up the intro movement. I feel like that shouldn't be that big of a confidence breaker, but who knows.
Well, he's going for it once again. Gets a good grab this time. Nice bomb.
Tama re-grab. Opts for the right side of the pyramid, wants to stay as far away from that shiny top star as possible. We've seen a pretty decent number of folks actually accidentally grab that star. Proto not able to get a re-grab. Gonna have to try for shiny top instead, I believe.
Yeah, went a little too far to the left there on that dune and just wasn't able to get a good draws. Doing the same, resetting up the, wow, really great reset up for that. And it looks like he'll, just taking a death. Man, that would have been almost like a near perfect reset up for that. Proto not happy with this bomb size. Pluses just wreaking havoc on both these guys right now.
I halfway wonder if that backup was what ended up killing Draws, if he was a little bit further forward than he was expecting, and that's what caused him to double jump late. But either way, he gets his double right now. He gets in the pyramid a second time for secrets.
Proto can get this plus right here. He could make a a little bit of time just based off mistakes, but not able to there. Is going to have to reset up and respawn the bomb.
Yeah, and thankfully he's practiced the camera setup. Oh man, this is always rough to see when you just cannot get pose to work for anything.
Well, it's just this is the toughest part of the run. I mean, we could argue about lava boost and that sort of thing, but really it's pluses that are just so crazy difficult here in 70 star.
I mean, I feel like it's mainly because they're so far out of the standard mechanics of the game. Like nothing else besides bomb clip, and that really doesn't count. Nothing else really shows you this difficulty. Except apparently LLL Reds for Droz, for some reason, nearly taking a death, but was able to restore himself. The worst part about messing up Reds like that is eventually the maze starts to actually interfere with your movement through the Reds. And so, like, you already lose some time at the start due to burns, and then you're going to lose even more just because the puzzle isn't treating you well anymore. But, I mean, yeah, like, there are certainly stars whose long-term movement is harder to master than the plus, but those 10 seconds are easily some of the most precise inputs throughout the entire run.
Well, we are firmly in LLL now. Both these guys taking care of business. Protoman long jumping back over, going to be doing a quick flight over this fence. Droz heading into the volcano, gets a grab there on that rotating platform. Looks like he's going to be setting up for lava boost first off. Pro setup.
I want a pro ending to boot. Very beautiful.
Able to clip through those poles, exactly what you're looking for. Protoman heading into the volcano as well.
And that entrance is nothing to scoff at either. The pro entrance is pretty finicky. You have to put some serious time into it before you're really consistent at it. Proto with a safer ending to complement his safer boost. Droz has an issue getting back in the volcano for elevator tour.
Yeah, a weird camera angle. He is on 2 health now. Cannot take any damage at all from any of this fire. Able to avoid it though.
Proto about to go in for his own elevator tour here. Long jump boost is better, gang. I can't personally agree. That's not the way I feel. I mean, I use the long jump boost, but that's just because pro boost is still inconsistent for me. When you have the consistency with it, it's definitely worth a couple seconds you save with it.
So far, Protoman a lot cleaner here in LLL. Droz having a lot of difficulty here with these triple bullies. Just trying to go for that quick little hop movement where you don't do a ground pound. But wasn't able to get it cleanly.
And nice long boys from Protoman to grab that final big bully star. Droz is going in for himself. So these guys are actually a little bit closer together than I had anticipated. I thought Protoman would be further behind with those plus fails, but I mean, Protoman didn't die on his pluses, which is I feel like a much bigger time loss than what he had to take. It's still bad the time loss he took, but nowhere near as bad as nearly getting a plus and then dying.
Droz heading into Triple D now. And Protoman as well. About 15, 16 seconds worth of difference between these guys. So Protoman, you know, he, again, staying super comfy, staying with those consistent strats, but staying right there on Droz's tail.
Oh, yeah. Now, Droz, I mean, first off, props to Protoman for staying as close as he has to Droz. Droz has been playing exceptionally well. He came in chat and said, "Oh, I haven't played in so long. I've been queued up for hours in WoW Classic and just don't have the time." Whatever it is, but his gameplay here, I feel like.
Swooping around here, doing a nice job. Real quick as we head through about the halfway point of this race. Exclamation point schedule to see the full schedule of everything that GSA has going on. Exclamation point bracket to see where all your favorite runners are at and who they have to go up against. Exclamation point YT or exclamation point YouTube for the YouTube channel. All the reruns are there if you missed a race, or if you just want to rewatch something. Clips too, all there on the YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe. Exclamation point merch for the merch. Shirts and hoodies. Fresh, clean looks. And exclamation point Onyx to get those points. Droz heading front sub.
Let's see if he's able to make this shot. He's got his 9-iron. He's angled. Oh, he's right in the rough. Golf ball flying through some trees and such. But he's able to hit it right into the hole from that rough. Not exactly sure how. The power iron, typically not a very accurate instrument, but if this description of things excited you, Onyx might be your currency of choice because they have Golf Clash that you can use to earn Onyx. Beautiful stuff. We've got Droz moving into the Manta. I'd like to. I used to go on and on about I hate this Manta. Its rings have a delay on the hitbox, etc., etc. I was totally wrong, and I feel the need to correct myself. You see, as Pan and Koic made a video to demonstrate, what is actually wrong is there's a bug in this game. I know this game is like perfect. There's no way there's a bug, right? And as it turns out, the hitbox for those rings is in many cases sideways compared to the actual ring. If you look up Manta Rings Pan and Koic, you'll find exactly what I mean. He has a comparison video of what the hitboxes actually are and what they visually show. But what's being visually shown on our screens right now is a successful lava boost from Protoman, and Droz being well on his way to one. This is what you love.
Well, and Protoman needs to get those Manta Rings done. He went into Fire Seed a little bit earlier than Droz, so even though it looks like he's in the lead right now, he's not actually. Droz with the lava boost as well. Clean reds from Proto. Good ending. Droz looks like he'll do the same. Gets a cheeky grab though.
Yeah, he should still be fine. I think he's still got the pole grab at least. Yep. Nice wall kick there.
Able to recover there. Proto finishing up Bowser there.
Droz with the cheeky slide kick to get down from the star platform. And let's see how Proto's Manta Ray goes. It's kind of weird though, when you look at the ring hitboxes compared to the actual rings, the first 5 do line up pretty well. It's only the second one that's kind of sideways in the first 5, but like the 7th ring and the 8th ring, the hitbox is completely sideways. Like when you see the hitbox, it makes perfect sense to you how people are able to miss rings going directly through them. Like it's the ring box just makes no sense because of a bug. Droz, meanwhile, thought he had to go back to DDD for something, but he's going to be kicking his way back into the Fire Sea entrance.
Well, we are heading upstairs again. Proto just on Droz's tail. Into Wet Dry World. Droz starting with that Wet Dry World 100.
He's got a single box broken. He's already spent his safety coin. And that's infuriating. Right after that just terrible box RNG, he gets a box that the coins don't even spray at all. That's just a true slap in the face, Mario style. And of course, the spider not wanting to play correctly either. Just things are not looking great for Droz in this 100 coin, unfortunately. But Protoman pulls off a very nice elevator. Droz, no ledge grab after that wall kick. Nice stair movement from Droz. Proto going in for his own 100 coin, having a little bit better luck overall with his coins. Not sure what that ground pound was all about. I think it was a backup. And so we've got ourselves a nice finished 100 coin from Droz. Protoman about halfway through it, gathering his secrets now. So now Droz with his own elevator as Protoman finishes out his 100 coin. Still a very, very close race. Just a really admirable showing from Protoman. He's really playing at a great level right now to be so close to Droz.
Well, it's been the kind of the battle of philosophies, if you will. Droz, again, like we said, 16 star, 0-1 star. He wants to go fast. He's going to do all those hard strats, especially being kind of the newcomer, if you will, to this league. So he wants to really prove. I mean, it was clear that he really wanted to prove to everyone that he could do this. He really has shown, you know, that someone can transfer from 16 star to 70 star and be very successful. Regardless of his position, he's done a very good job. But Proto, again, comfy, consistent strats, staying on Droz's tail this whole time.
Yeah, and I mean, Proto being the promotion from Division 2, along with Tabascoth, I mean, of course, you know, there's going to be some slower strats just from kind of a different level of expertise, but he's really shown through all of his races that he definitely deserves this spot as much as anyone. Even though his strats may be a little bit slower, like he's really he knows his stuff. And I feel like we as commentators sometimes kind of downplay just how hard the easier strats are. They're easier by comparison. They're not easy. They're only easy when compared to the ridiculous stuff that we see from absolute top level runners going with like 47s. So for Protoman to be performing the way that he is definitely shows that he's a really top level player.
Droz with the bonk there.
And he almost backs up getting on top of the mountain with a triple jump. I haven't seen that before.
Well, just like that, Proto with the lead, a very slight one. Magranok with a $15 donation, though, much appreciated.
Magnarok, that is a name that exudes gravitas. That is beautiful username and beautiful donation. Thank you so much.
Well, interesting turn of events there. Droz having a little difficulty there with secrets. Protoman now. Again, just the consistency coming into play.
We got Protoman with a pretty interesting approach to the top of the mountain star. Droz with a nice mountain clip, but it is not enough to offset Protoman's slight lead. Now they got piranhas to deal with. Remember D-Whatever's flub in that last race. Hopefully we don't see anything like that here. Which piranhas is a surprisingly costly star sometimes. Like on the surface, it's a very easy star, but it's easy to lose time to things that you wouldn't necessarily think of.
Starting out looks fine. Piranha's coming out at the right time. These guys killing them at the right time. And we are heading out of THI.
Into TTM.
And these guys are a second apart. And TTM is kind of, you know, I don't know, what would you say about TTM?
TTM is where upstairs really starts to become upstairs. Because Wet Dry World, although it's technical, still feels kind of like a basement stage. But TTM levels up the difficulty in a very specific way. It's hard to describe, but it really is more reminiscent of Tippy than it is of the lobby and basement. And so I feel like it definitely kind of... It's really the tipping point of upstairs and where the run really starts to heat up, especially when you're on a really great pace or you have a very minor lead. And
the sink. Oh, but the differentiation here in route.
Oh, Proto diving right past the star, unfortunately. Droz, meanwhile, going right behind the waterfall, no issue.
Protoman going for that log wall kick. Droz getting to the top of the mountain.
He has to take himself a little ledge grab there and a side flip dive, but Strat's consistent. Can't argue with that. We've got Droz heading over for Reds now. Interesting little setup. I might actually kind of steal that from him. Oh, getting a good setup for that dive over the corner of the pond is kind of difficult.
Oh, Droz having a little difficulty here with these polygons. This little maze area can be kind of difficult, but able to clean it up. Missing the 4th red coin. And having a little difficulty getting that 5th one as well. See how Protoman takes this on. We'll be heading over to do the same.
You had a bit of an issue with that first long jump. Long jumps are just such a fickle thing in this game. Ooh! Proto just walking right off the mushroom, not able to get whatever movement he was wanting to there. That's a shame right there.
Yeah, you know what? It seems to be that with these mushrooms, especially that one in particular, we're setting up for breezeless now. Able to get that one, though.
Awesome.
Good confidence booster there after taking that death. But it seems to be that those mushrooms just, an A press just doesn't want to work. Droz able to get his breezeless as well.
Awesome. 2 for 2 on breezeless. Great stuff to see. Protoman gonna have to go for Reds again after that unfortunate mistake. And then walks right by one of them. We got some wall bopping action on Protoman's side, but ends up finally getting the star spawned as Droz gets to the top of the snowman's head. Very clean.
Protoman now heading over to SL as well. Droz. Oh no, Droz, he's been having difficulty with this one. We saw this from him last week. It seems to be that he's having difficulty and making mistakes in the same areas week to week. Able to get through that kind of weird clip through that mountainside though, so not having as much difficulty as he was last week.
Yeah, and I mean, the whirl from the freezing pond or over the hill and slide away, as I've taken to calling it, because the original name makes no sense with the way we do the strat. I mean, I can't speak for a player like Droz, but for me personally, a much more beginner level player, there's a lot to be said for the difficulty in diagnosing, like, how many kicks do I need to do to get up the slope to make sure I don't overkick? When exactly should I go ahead and jump from the steep slope? Protoman also having issues getting over the other side. Like, it's a much more precise trick than it looks like, and it's something that certainly takes a decent amount of time to get into. Big Simp with the 54 party raid. What is up? The big man himself clapping some cheeks with that raid. Speedrun? 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 I don't know. We might be watching a speedrun. I'm not exactly sure. I mean, the Red Hat man is moving fast. There are certainly some stocks on their rise, I think it's safe to say we are in a speedrun situation. Speedrun,
no,
what's
Proto
that?
Man.
Well, it's when you play a game real good and it still decides to bite you.
Proto Man there, fighting it for sure. Not able to get this wall kick. He's, going for that again. Comfy setup, trying to get the wall kick off that ice path to get up top. Finally able to get it at about the 4th try. Droz downstairs talking to Todd. Before heading into HMC.
That was definitely a rough SL for Proto. We got Droz in the haziest, maziest cave of all. Proto seems to be on tilt right now from the way that he's playing. Just needs to go ahead and take a deep breath. Try to reset his nerves, reset that mentality. Let's see, maybe this MIPS grab will give him some of that. He's got an opportunity here. First try MIPS grab. And from chat, I have a very important message. M Red Hat. Man, move inhumanly fast right now. Red Hat, man. Alien from Area 51 that went back in time. That's all.
All right. Droz taking care of business. Emergency exits. Done and done. Only has 2 more here in HMC before heading up into Tippy. Tippy takes no prisoners.
Oh, yeah. HMC is a nice calm before the storm, as if you're going into the eye of the hurricane. Still not easy. Nice triple box jump from Proto, and Droz growing for Christmas Miracle. Very nice. As my grandma used to say, ain't no switch because ain't no Planet X because ain't not Glowbirth.
Did he even take a dive for that, or did he just land on that?
I think he took a dive at like the last minute, but he may have actually just gone for the standard movement. I'm not exactly sure.
Man, a little early there with the ground pound. But it looks like about a little bit over a star behind. Droz going to be heading past these boulders.
Oh, and not quite getting the double jump at an angle that gets him a wall kick.
Yeah, a little obtuse.
He's rolling back up.
Proto going for his Christmas Miracle now. Droz going to be heading upstairs now.
Beautiful stuff from Proto as well. Got himself 1 more star to grab before heading on up to join Droz. Now let's see how Droz handles Tippy. Gonna start hard and fast with Lakitu bounce. And I'm sure we're gonna be seeing a glitchy wall kick from Droz. I mean, with everything else we've seen in this run, with the reputation he's built for himself, there's no way he's not going for it.
Well, he goes for those hard strats just across the board. You don't really see him go for anything too comfy, really.
He actually kind of still went with a more traditional Lakitu bounce setup.
Look there with the glitchy pole grab. Goes for the wall kicks.
Beautiful stuff. I mean, if you're confident in the wall kicks, I mean, it's pretty much about identifying a particular stripe on the pole to use as a visual cue, turning the camera and jumping at a particular time after turning. It sounds like a lot of steps when you...
Droz went into the red. Oh, not able to get that slide for that 5th red coin, having to back that one up.
I feel like that sliding
strat
is one of the most inconsistent in the game. Has kind of a weird ending to his reds. Looks a lot more like commentators playing instead of an actual professional. As Proto Man gets revenge from beyond the grave.
Wow.
The Lakitu pulling out a Spiny as a mortar grenade. He knows that he's not going to survive to see his children and raise them in the new world, but he knows that he can seek revenge on the one responsible for that fact. The Lakitu takes no prisoners today. But Protoman gets the last laugh as second try the bounce works just fine.
That grenade was cooked, man.
It really was.
That was a cooked grenade.
That came from nowhere. The Lakitu must have a secret stash. Yeah, final stand. I forget exactly what that Call of Duty perk is called. Someone in chat, I'm sure, remembers. I never actually played Call of Duty that much as a kid. I was too busy doing the flippy floppies with Mario.
Draws. Just swinging the breeze real quick before heading into TTC, but Proto right off the edge. Not able to get that wall kick off that rotating platform. So taking a third death now.
And now Droz, that was a really nice backup there. I didn't even think that Mario would have been on the ground pound there. If he would have gone in the clock at 3, he would have had no idea really what was going on. Failing the triple jump wall kick though, I have never failed it that way. I've failed that trick every way possible. I've never failed it that way. I don't even know how Droz did that. The Droz able to use the misguided minute hand that normally is not in that position to finally roll into the cage.
That was an awesome triple jump right off where the hand was at. Proto still in Rainbow Ride. Taking care of swinging in the breeze.
Yeah, nice kind of safety camera angle there. As Droz does manage to get his triple jump this time around. Gonna head on up for some pendulum action. Luigi does in fact know all. That is very true.
Well, Droz, if Droz continues on this pace, it maintains his lead. He will be taking his first win of the season. Proto!
Oh, I thought Protoman was going over. That's really lucky that he didn't. Droz having to go with some kind of weird movement to get a hand, but that's kind of interesting to me that the triple jump time moving wall kick doesn't quite work out for him very well. I wouldn't have expected that from a player like him.
Protoman now into TTC, taking care of Reds first. Interesting. Neither of these guys going for those 100s off the bat. You know, that's what you typically see, is taking care of that, you know, super hard stars, getting those super hard stars out of the way first. But neither of these guys doing that.
Well, some of it does depend, of course, on the clock's rotation. And in Droz's case, I think he actually couldn't have gone for it due to making a flub on the castle movement. But the clock rotation is something that, like, I don't feel like gets mentioned enough as far as, like, how precise the 12 actually is to get time stop. Oh, no. Droz in a weird position here. What? It looked like he was going to decide to go and move forward. Yep, he's just moving on with it. He's going to have to pick up a backup box at the end that's going to take a lot longer than most backups for 100 coins. That's the thing that really, really sucks about TTC 100 is there really is no good backup coin to get. The backup box easily costs you 10 or more seconds. And so if you feel like you might lose a coin, or in a race scenario generally, we've seen people like... Sorry, I think I cut out for a sec there, but we've seen some people like pull out of the strat of getting an extra red towards the start, and I feel like that's really good to accommodate for any potential box RNG that you might get. Droz, though, is able to get the backup box very clean. Has to take a little bit of weird movement to get his ending good, though.
Yeah, it didn't look like he knew where the right direction was for that. So playing it safe with the camera there. Going for the backflip to get up top, on top of the thwomp. Haven't seen that in a little while. Now Protoman is going to be taking care of his 100 as Droz finishes up with reds.
A nice triple jump there. Beautiful movement on these reds. Very, very well practiced. I mean, I'd expect nothing less from someone like Droz, but still. Protoman starts off 100 coin a little shaky. Let's see if he's able to back it up. And as you can see there, he went ahead and took that safety red. It doesn't lose that much. It certainly doesn't lose as much as the backup box, and the route is coin perfect. So in a race situation, I feel like that's definitely the right move, considering that a lot of the coins that you're going to get are going to come from boxes which have that inherent RNG.
Droz heading up into bits. And this really is his wheelhouse, you know. Just doing bits as it is, get it done. No reds necessary.
You know, to be honest with you, I feel like bits with reds is the most awkward Bowser stage to do with reds. The other two, I feel like there are differences between the standard and non-reds route, or reds and non-reds rather. It isn't too substantial, and they seem to flow pretty well. Like the Dark World intro is a little weird, admittedly, but like with Bowser in the Sky, you're constantly slowing down and all this other stuff.
Droz moving right, just insane movement here.
Nice elevators as well. Oh man.
Just like that, Droz looking at a mid 50. Proto, as long as he can get this done quickly, looking at either a very high 51 or a very low 52.
Now, I'm not sure exactly what happened just then with Droz. If you notice, like, Bowser was spinning really slow towards the start of that first throw.
Droz having a little difficulty here with this Bowser fight.
Just one throw.
Oh no, missing a second.
Throws.
Proto man is as long as he can get this done cleanly and get free throws, he can be getting a lot more points out of this.
See, that throw is laser focused, dead on. Oh, Proto misses the left side. Droz gonna be finishing with about a 51-15. Not a bad time, but certainly not the greatest run we've seen from Droz. Proto, meanwhile, getting into his fight pretty soon. Below 52, still in his future. That was close.
Proto.
Oh man, I don't know why he did that movement that way.
Oh no, he got invisible!
No!
Oh no!
Man.
He got Punkay invisible. Oh, then he's going all the way down and he's taking a death.
That's
Man.
a oh man.
He was right there at the end.
Fall. We were on the verge of greatness. We were this close.
He was right there, and I mean, he could have been grabbing so many points, but now it's kind of make or break as far as points go. That was
and then the
such a
amp
bummer.
at the beginning here. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate because Protoman really has never dipped that far behind Droz. Just a couple of very particular situations like SL. But, I mean, the point total he's going to be gaining from this race is really unfortunate given how exactly he performed against such a heavy hitter like Droz.
Well, and it wasn't even that dive. That dive was, I mean, sketchy at best, but it was just that invisible that came out of nowhere that you can sometimes get in. Oh no! Not the Goomba! Oh, thank God he's not taking it to death.
He's probably going to be taking this ending very safe. The Goomba's still on that ledge.
Goomba stomp.
The mecha bounce.
Man, he was just like, screw you, Goomba.
I'm done with you, Goomba. I'm done with your stuff. You're dead to me. Yeah, the Goombas defending the pipe really, for whatever reason, the Goombas in Protoman's squad seem to really take their mission statement seriously, while as the first throw missed. Oh man. a fluke or potentially a sign of things to come. I really hope it's the former. We got Protoman at 3 health. One more big bop into Bowser will kill him.
Yeah,
Bowser, you can see that mouth agape. He is ready to clap some cheeks, eager even. Protoman gonna try his hardest not to let that happen though. We got a second throw. Awkward angle, but does make it work. Those throws from a non-center position are extraordinary.
Not able to get that third throw. Options limited as far as mines go. Needs to get this third one. Just a little too far left. Just a really unfortunate ending for Proto. I mean, he had such a good showing through this whole race, and just this ending.
At the very, very least, he finally gets a good camera angle for that last throw. You know, the camera in this game gets talked about for being so great for speedrunning, and it really is. It lends itself to so many great setups that aren't really possible in other games. But in this final fight right here, when you get bad camera angles on the mines, there's nothing you can do about it. And no matter what, your inherent bias is to throw to the center. And it's hard to overcome that sometimes when you have these weird angles that require you to throw just a little bit early or late. But ultimately, Protoman with a great showing, just unfortunate bits. Really, I mean, bits cost him 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes easy, and that's really not reflective of the game he played today. Draws with some really solid gameplay as well, just a couple of flubs here and there, claiming in chat that he hasn't spent as much time with the game recently as he'd like, and a little bit of that showing, but still a really solid run nonetheless.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's exactly it. I mean, we saw just how close Proto and Draws were through this whole race, and that ending just isn't equal to what we saw, you know, through that entire 70 star. We'll see if we can get these guys in for quick interviews. Protoman is in here. Protoman, really unfortunate ending, man.
Yeah, that's what happens when you take the owl, kids. Stay away. I'm serious. It must be some divine something. I don't know. That elevator thing never happens to me, like literally never. And then it caused my death. Whatever. I played not well the whole race anyway.
Well, let's move past the ending. You know, really unfortunate. But actually, to speak, you know, you and Draws were kind of neck and neck for the entire race, and you know, Proto, you taking actually the lead in THI.
Yeah, that's weird. I think it's only because me and Draws were both like kind of rusty. If we were both primed to go, there I had no chance. Like he would have thrown up a 48. I might have got like a 50 or 51 instead of this. But this was good. I actually had a chance this way, right? Because we're both rusty. Like anything can happen. And so I don't know. Everything was feeling pretty good until TTM Red's death. Like it was pretty close, like for a long time there. So it was kind of fun.
What's the big takeaway for you from this race?
Do some no resets before the race and do a few more pro strats. I was actually hitting the strats okay, like Fire Sea, good ending, breezeless, triple jump wall kick, what drive roll. I was just screwing, well, other than pillarless, which I forget how to do like a child. I don't know. I don't have any takeaway. Dowski's a legend. He could have like 47 like yesterday if he wanted to. That's my takeaway.
Well, that's unfortunately it for us. A little short in time. We've got a race coming up in just a moment. Thank you so much to both Draws and Proto for that race. We got Heisenberger versus Cheese up next. But Electric, thanks so much for joining me in the booth.
Oh, of course. It's been a blast as always. And stick around, folks. I won't be in the booth for the next race, but I will probably be watching. It should be a good one. Really excited to see that with all of y'all. But for now, peace out and hope you stick around for a bit.
Yeah, stick around. We'll be right back.